from somewhere in the U.S. And we essentially provided whatever anybody needed in that area. This is probably the end of the first week after Helene. So just after this, I met some guys that were actually fellow veterans. I'm a veteran myself. They were working with the Special Forces Charitable Trust and the Special Forces Association. And their mission is to take care of the Special Forces members and their families. But during this disaster, they decided to help out everybody that they could. And after meeting them, I got connected with a couple different organizations. Operation Airdrop is one of them. They needed people to walk in on foot, or horseback, or a bike, or a rappel, or whatever, to get into some of the hardest hit areas and figure out what people needed. Because people were stranded, they didn't have water, they didn't have food, medical supplies, you name it, they just didn't have it. So, me and another veteran that I met from Rutherford, we had never known each other before, Helene. We started teaming up. We'd drive as far as we could go, and then we'd get out and we'd walk. And some days we did 2 miles, some days we did 12. And we get into these small areas, that are affected between Bat Cave and Fairview, Black Mountain. We'd find, even in the Shumont, we'd find people, homesteads that were stranded, destroyed. We would find and mark a area roughly 150 foot in diameter, make sure there was no trees or debris that could get sucked into rotor wash on a helicopter. Then we would give those coordinates to our friends with the Special Forces Charitable Trust and some of the organizations sometimes, like Operation Airdrop. And then they would bring in by helicopter the stuff that the people needed at that homestead or that community. So all that happened in the first 2 weeks, and then from there, we transitioned into Bat Cave. And at Bat Cave, I basically fell into an operation that had already started, in a sense. And you can go ahead and continue the video. Thank you.
That's still Tim Emery, right?
That's still Tim Edwards, yeah. Early on, some of the necessities that were needed, everyone was, who didn't have electricity was burning propane, was burning wood, but mostly propane, natural gas. And a lot of these folks that were using that to heat their homes, they had never used gas to heat their home. And they didn't know the risk that having gas, especially inside your home, such as with like a buddy heater or the small portable heaters, how dangerous it was. And people were dying from exposure to gas. And so we had a huge need for CO2 detectors and fire extinguishers, which we started just asking for donations. And somehow, some way, we were able to provide about $9,000 or $10,000 worth of CO2 detectors and fire extinguishers to various communities. So